Yes, beautiful people, this can actually work. Okay, what is going on? What is going on? Let me just get up in your face. Let me get in your face, Married at First Sight's back tonight. Let me see your face. Let me see your face. I'm looking forward to showing you my face when I do some reactions later. And of course, Adam Light, Married at First Sight. We're going to be today reviewing episode 4, Cuatro, because we're learning languages here too. I think that's Spanish. We're half learning languages here too. And of course, let's just do a quick recap. I'm going to try and keep it sweet and short. Do you know what? I'm going to pull up a chair. Let me just pull up a chair. Do you know what? We're going to take a seat, grab a cup of tea. Yep. Come on. Now let's get into it. So, are you sitting down? You got a cup of tea? Adam Light reality show. We are back. Remember, we're here to find the real in the reality show, so that's always going to be the case. This one seems pretty flipping real as it stands, so I think we're going to give them all a rating, every reality show that we watch here at the end of the season, and I'm kind of optimistic that the rating on this one should be good, but there's still a lot to go, It's all been honky-dory marriages, so let's just discuss that one as well. And guys, please remember, play a part yourselves. We're all little cogs. Little tiny cogs in a little machine that is all going to be part of this show. So again, you're a bigger part of it as well. Getting involved, sharing your opinions, agree, disagree, that's fine. And again, sometimes am I biased? I'm speaking to these people who have got different perspectives. Are they correct? Are they wrong? I don't know. Let's just talk about it. So let's get into it. Let's just quickly recap last week. We had a few marriages. I think day one, let's call out for me, my favourites at the moment, which is Thomas and Adrian. I think they were day 2. They got married. H from Steps, crazy friend asking a lot of questions. Came across though really well, just a little bit rabbit in headlights. And then Tom, just straight up performer and larger than life character. So they came across again like there might be some fireworks and again a few little disagreements, but then they went on their honeymoon and it just got a little bit more explosive. We also had Shanita and Jordan, who just dream couple. Everything's gone perfect, everything's gone sweet, and from the moment they've met it seems to be fireworks and they seem to be getting on alright. Jordan's seems like a sound lad, she seems like a sweet lass. They've got together and honeymoon's gone perfect. We had Whitney and Duca. I'm not going to say much here, but let's just say I've had an epiphany of just making sure I try and control my emotions as much as somebody's been completely nasty and rude and I think he's bullying. I lost my cool in one of the videos, let's be honest. I've decided I'm going to keep it as best I can, although I'm pretty sure this will be a roller coaster. If anyone missed it, please watch these things back on All 4. You've got a few hours, get cracking. But Whitney was just phenomenally rude to her date and just really, I don't know whether she knew what show she'd signed up for because she didn't want to say any vows because they didn't feel real. But when you're marrying someone at first sight, it was never going to be real. So again, and then they went on their honeymoon and she was just very accusatory about foreign things. Duke had just seemed to be trying his best, which she's now perceived as fake and saying he's someone else off camera. It's all getting interesting. And then we also had April and George. So George seems to be a bit of a sensitive cookie. So I'm interested to see whether it's something that he didn't know what he signed up for a little bit. At first I did have him as quite, not being cheeky, but when I first read his profile, I had him quite boring and uninteresting. And as he got, as I met him and heard his story, I kind of felt at least a little bit of an affiliation to him. But as it's developed, I'm more conscious of him needing to toughen up a little bit and be prepared for what is the toughness of this process. And fingers crossed. Again, I have seen him a few times kind of remove himself from the situation, which is good. But similar to someone I get onto in a minute, you can't let that overwhelm you. That's my point. In April, of course, cheating scandal, quickest cheating in all the history of maths. But was it cheating? There's still a little bit of ambiguity for me in relation to what actually happened there. Was it that he was part of it? Was he part of the dare game? I don't think he was. Therefore, did she admit it? Like, was it he found out from a third party? Or it's a tough one. Let me know what you guys think and in the comments below. For me, we crossed a bit of a line now. But I would have taken it, I think, a little bit better than our George, our gorgeous George. But I think that was all the 4 couples. We've still got Jordan. No, ignore me. We've got Jenna and Zoe to get married tonight, which I believe is the first UK lesbian couple there's ever been. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I can't think there's been a lesbian couple before, so good luck to them. And the secret reveal, there was a little snippet of some secret there that could be interesting. And then we also have getting married tonight, Cassia and Kwame. When you want Kwame. So let's see how that one goes, because he was seeming a little bit like he didn't know what he signed up for, because he's just on having a good old time. And I remember highlighting the lean, like he's jamming the lean, and the lean said a lot, man. So yeah, I think I'm going to be feeling a bit bad for Casey, I think, as time goes on. But I think I'm still also going to have just a cheekiness appreciation for Kwame, and he's going to have me maybe sometimes thinking he shouldn't have said that on a few occasions, but we'll find out tonight. Let me not make this one too long. So again, if you've missed any episodes, you can catch up on them. If you missed Unveiled, you can catch up on that. That was on All 4 last night. A really, again, nice one to check up on. And then of course get yourself bed ready and cracking for 9 PM tonight. But Richie and Lara, and also PJ and Jess got married on episode 4. Interesting. Both Richie and Lara, I really like these guys. So I think for the fact that I feel so much of a warmth to both of them individually, I just really want them to work. The only reality is I think that they might communicate differently. On paper, they're probably the best match of the season. When you heard about how Mel explained a few of the elements of why they put them together, on paper they should be the best match of the season. But I do wonder whether that awkwardness when they both heard information that was a little bit off for them, it was, I think, walls up time, and they took a moment to communicate effectively. But in that moment, I'm hoping they don't allow those to become bigger moments where the group get involved and the whole dynamic gets blown apart a little bit, because if that is the case, it could confuse them a little bit. But what I did like is that they quickly talked about things and cracked on, and loads of positives with the son. Richie's nephew, again, looked like a gent. Lara's son, I think his name's Jaden or Callum, but again came across really well, because at first there was that concern of how was he going to approach this, and like a gentleman and really open-minded. So again, something for us all to learn there. And let's think. Definitely one point I wanted to make. Lara, what a boss. I think there's the job title she made some reference to. I think she's just someone who's walked many paths and therefore learned more than most in relation to just life experience. So I think that's where keep your head held high moment. And I think regardless of what you do and where you've come from, and even what someone said you are before, every day is a new opportunity to start turning that round. Whitney. Whitney. Fucking hurry up. Sorry. Need to edit out these coughs. Anyway. Yeah, then moving on to PJ, same thing. Job title, I think that the same way with George. Maybe George and Jess were a better match because they both get emotional and they can't let themselves get time to think. Jess did the right thing by removing herself from the situation straight away. And even better, I think, than George in the fact that she explained exactly how she was feeling audibly. Like, I actually feel sick in this moment and I've got to go. But then it just consumed her. And I think that's one where, moving forward, I'm interested to see how this is all going to work. Consumed her a little bit. And even when approaching Mum, who, by the way, Mum, I'm on fully support with, ask the right questions. Please get down to the nuts and bolts of it. By look after, I don't think it meant look after as in she now just sits at home like some 1950s wife. That's not what it means. Look after as in emotionally. Don't be having intimate moments that are going to have her at home feeling anything other than stable. And I can understand this being one that will split a lot of people, especially with someone who is as lovely, as warm as PJ, because what a gent. And this is where I hope that Jesse's emotional reactions don't build up too many walls that then it just isn't something she can break down, because she's got a great opportunity here with a really well raised lad, and already his family must be feeling a little bit now pessimistic about this whole experiment with what they've seen so far, and she has to also take that on board when it comes to potential home visits later on in the season. So love those guys, really hopeful for them. Again, good luck, and hopefully as the season progresses, I hear this is going to be the best season ever. I hear this is going to be the most drama. And what's strange for me is there's certain people I'm just like, please don't be involved in it. Please don't be involved. But we are going to break it down either way. So whatever happens, tune in, Adam Like Reality Show. I'm going to get this one out ASAP. So like I said, you can get on it before we are back tonight. And I will try my best to get a little reaction video and see if the little shot looks on my face come back again with the big secret reveal of our Jenna. Adam Light, Married at First Sight, putting the real back in reality.